What's going on YouTube? OCD for EDC here. And what I've got for your face balls today are these two extremely beautiful knives. What we're looking at here is the Mass Drop or Drop Eric Oaks Orca. And here we have the Pena X Series Lanny's Clip. Both of these knives were manufactured by Reate in China. And to me, they fill kind of the same purpose. Both of them are, really kind of a high class, if you will, EDC knife or gentleman's carry. Although both of them may be a little bit big to consider to be gentleman's carry. But as you're going to see here, the materials certainly fall into the classy carry. So to start off here, we're going to do a couple size comparisons. And we'll start out with the normals. We're going to do the, actually, let me move these around a little bit. So here it is with the Spyderco Manix 2 and the Benchmade Super Freak. So as you can see here, they're not overly huge knives. And then we'll also do the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight and the Benchmade Bug Out. So, a little bigger than a Bug Out. The Lanny's Clip is not so different than, Bug Out size or Para 3 size. And then, just because I have them sitting here, here is the Ritter Hogue. Let me move these up just a tiny bit here. So that is the Ritter Hogue RSK. And then we'll throw out another Hogue knife, again, just because it's sitting here. And this is the Hogue Deca. So as you can see there, real good size for EDC. And like I said, definitely nicer gentleman's carry knives. So both of these have a little bit of added flair, which I'm going to show you here in a moment. But yeah, let's get into her here and get a blade length on both of these guys. What's going on there? There we go. So 3.22 on the Pena X Series. And on the Oaks Orca, we're looking at 3.5 inch, just over 3.5 inch blade. So both of these are flippers, and you can see that we've got some absolutely gorgeous marble carbon fiber, if I can speak. You can also see that we're dealing with titanium hardware here. You've got a really nice titanium anodized thumb stud. And just look at the way the blade was done. The finishing on the blade is absolutely beautiful. You've got titanium liners, carbon fiber backspacer with some milling in it. Does sit proud of the scales and liners there. So really cool. Nice backspacer. I really love the blade shape. You got this nice swedge across the top, and I love some poon. So got a little Orca poon there. So just an absolutely gorgeous knife. And you've got this different texturing on the carbon fiber. So back here, it's smooth. I mean, it's kind of contoured in the aspect that it has these really, really large bevels on either side. It is flat here through the center. And then you've got this milled line, which gives it kind of a faux bolster look. And then it's, it has the texture similar to like, jewelry that has like nugget style gold going on. It's just a bunch of divots or stippling, kind of like on a gun grip, if a stippled grip. But anyway, it looks really nice, very classy looking. And although the blade is 3.5 inches, I think it works well. Now, as far as ergonomics go, the blade feels a little large on this guy. For the size of the handle, but I mean, it works well. You can see here that, primarily you got a 3-finger grip, or I do, on this knife here, and then my pinky's back here, but it's comfortable. You know, even putting my thumb all the way up into the poon gooch there. You know, it works well, and it's comfortable in hand, no doubt. Fairly thick in this dimension. Let me get a measurement there. So yeah, just under 6/10 of an inch thick on the handle. Now on the Lanny's clip, it's a little bit smaller yet, but still, ergos work well because you've just got a real neutral grip here. Still looking at marble carbon fiber, and in this case here, we do have titanium bolsters. Again, we have a gear pattern style backspacer that sits proud of the scales and the liners, and you've got, you know, the bolster and the liners in this case are all the same piece, and so this is a bolster lock where the Orca is a liner lock knife. Both knives are riding on bearings. Like I said, both are made by Reate, so the quality is really fantastic. The blade here on the Lanny's clip, I love the look of the blade shape. However, this one's not going to lend itself really well to sharpening because you've got this recurve, and then you have this, you know, it's almost kind of like a, I don't know if I'm going to call it a modified Tonto with a clip point. Either way, there's a lot going on this blade. You've got this really beautiful hollow grind all through this section here, and comes very thin behind the edge. You know, you're looking at about 17 or 18 thousandths behind the edge through this hollow ground part. And then out here, it does get a little bit thicker, but still it's ground very well. So this is a really great knife, although it is going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass to sharpen, but really gorgeous knife. You got this fuller and the swedge up here. You know, there's a lot going on that blade for sure. The Lanny's clip is rocking S35 VN, and the Orca is rocking RWL 34. You can see it right there. So both have very good blade steels, and like I said, both are made by Reate, so the quality is really fantastic. And let me get a thickness on the Lanny's clip. So a little bit thinner than the Orca, but still over half of an inch. However, you know, both these guys are really comfortable in hand, and, you know, just work really well. So you may have seen glimpses of the bling on both of these guys. So as you can see here, this one has been upgraded with a Timascus clip, which is absolutely gorgeous. And the clip is the same shape as the original. So that's what the original clip would look like. However, the original is just a regular titanium clip. I think on a model like this where the bolsters are anodized, I think the clip was also anodized, the original one, but this thing's absolutely gorgeous. And on the Oaks knife here, the Orca, you can see we also have the Timascus clip. Absolutely gorgeous, looks amazing, and just really adds a whole bunch to the knife. You know, when you see that clip, your eyes are just drawn to it. Just absolutely beautiful. Polish it up a little bit there. Yeah, really, really beautiful clip. So, both of these knives were very generously loaned to me to take a look at by a good friend of mine, David. And he goes by DLBY3 on Instagram and on YouTube. But definitely go and follow him on Instagram. He's got some really cool stuff. He's constantly posting pictures, and he's got a pretty impressive collection. So definitely go and give him a follow. And yeah, doing some great stuff. So action on these guys are both really spectacular. You know, if you've never held a Reate knife, you know, just they're extremely well made. Just everything that they do is very, very well made. Tolerances are great, and just gorgeous, gorgeous knives. So we're going to get into these guys a little bit, and we're actually going to pull these guys apart and take a look and see what they're like. So we got titanium hardware on the Lanny's clip as well, and this happens to be a T10 for the pivot screw here, and the hardware is just beautifully made. Like I said, you know, with Reate, you just get exceptional quality. So I'm just taking a lot of care here to make sure that I don't scratch anything. So we're going to, I need to really watch what I'm doing here. All right. So here's that pocket clip. Just absolutely gorgeous. So price on these guys, here on the Lanny's clip, you can find these on Blade HQ. They they sell for, this particular model sells for right around $300 if I remember correctly, and they are available. I don't know about this particular model being available, but I know some of them are available. So you can see there we got the marble carbon fiber, and then looks like we've got, I don't know if that's a T6. Yep. So we got a T6 here. Perfect. Okay. So here's the scale here. So it's, you know, like I said, it's a titanium bolster lock. You can see there we're riding on ceramic caged ball bearings. You can see the hardened steel insert with the ceramic detent ball over travel stop. Really, really gorgeous. These are numbered. This one here is number 48. And on the blade, really, really nice. Really, the only thing it's missing is a detent ball ramp. But again, you know, that's pretty minor. The detent ball hole, if you can see that or not, but it actually goes all the way through, so it's not a blind hole, which is nice. So for those that don't know, you know, a lot of detent ball holes are they don't go all the way through the blade. This one here, you can see, goes all the way through. But if they don't go all the way through, they can fill up with pocket lint and stuff over time and kind of ruin your action. But you can see here again, number 48, just absolutely gorgeous. Really, really well made knives. So let's just throw this guy back together here real quick. And you'll see that, you know, with Reate's quality, these things go back together just really, really simple. Real easy to take your knife apart, maintenance it, and put it back together. And, you know, of course, the blade will be perfectly centered and all of that good stuff. So, go like that. I'm going to throw the pivot back in just because we're at that point here. Sorry if my fat hands are in the way, guys. Trying to do this under a camera is not always the easiest thing to do. So there we go. Now we'll throw the carbon fiber back on. And so really, in my opinion, and this is just my own opinion, all the Reate knives that I have handled have been beautifully made. Definitely, you know, I would say that they're a step above like Wee or Kaiser, Best Tech. You know, I'm not knocking any of those companies. I certainly love a bunch of the knives that they put out. But the attention to detail and the quality of the materials and stuff that you get from Reate is just a step above, you know. So if you see something that you like, and if it's made by Reate, you can rest assured that it is going to be of beautiful quality. And yeah, hardware, everything about them is just super well done. So let's see here. I haven't even flipped it, nothing. You can see blade is right down Broadway. Yeah, and action is just stellar. Detent is perfect. Zero blade play. It might even be just a skosh tight. Yeah, it is just a little bit tight, but still the flipping action is just beautiful. Let me back that off just the tiniest bit. Yeah, look at that. Just absolutely gorgeous. Amazing little knives for sure. So, you know, around 300 bucks will get you this knife without the Timascus clip. So I'm not sure exactly what the Timascus clips cost for this Lanny's clip, but you're probably looking, you know, it wouldn't shock me a bit if the clip's 125 or 150 bucks. So, you know, you're looking at having 425, 450 wrapped up into this knife the way it sits right here. But, you know, if that design's really speaking to you, then I'm going to say it's worth it because it's a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. So let's take a look at the Orca here and see how it's put together. Yeah, it looks like we're working with T8s here. I'm going to go from this side. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't want to get too carried away here. I don't know if this has been Loctited or not. Yeah, maybe we're not going to get into this guy because that feels like it's been Loctited, and I definitely don't want to damage any of the hardware. So I probably should have checked that prior to, because there are ways that you can get in there if it has been Loctited. But I was just going to show off how well made these guys are. But you can see here, this thing is right down Broadway. Blade centering's perfect, which I've never seen a Reate knife that wasn't perfect. You know, the finishing that they put on the blades, you can see you've got this really beautiful satin finish, and then it runs the opposing direction on the flats, as well as, you know, runs up on the harpoon. Just really, really well done. All the edges are very well chamfered. Just a gorgeous knife. So the Orca definitely, like I said, you know, it just feels like it's got a really large blade for the size of the handle, but it works. You know, the design flows really well, and it works well. It's just when you see the blade, it's fairly tall in this dimension, as well as, you know, being 3.5 inches. And when you grab a hold of the handle, I just kind of was expecting the handle to be slightly bigger, but it's not a knock on the knife at all. It's gorgeous. It works well. And, you know, the addition of the Timascus on there is super, super nice. So this particular knife, you can purchase this guy from Mass Drop or Drop now. I'm wanting to say they start at $200 for the Orca. And I can't remember the exact configuration. I don't know if that's the carbon fiber or not. I know that they offer it straight from them with the Timascus clip option, and I'm wanting to say it adds like 125 bucks for the Timascus. And really, guys, both of these knives, this is about the cheapest way that you're going to get into materials like this. You know, that's one of the great things about both of these knives, is that you're getting one, a wonderful manufacturer that you know has lots of knives that are well exceed the $200 or $300 mark, and you have options for things like Timascus and titanium hardware and stuff that you're not going to see on lesser brands. So I think both of these are a wonderful kind of entry or segue into that kind of really high end, if you will, world where you get things like Timascus and, you know, RWL 34 blade steel, although that blade steel isn't like, you know, it's not the unicorn of blade steels or anything, but it does seem to really, you know, you only seem to find it on like customs and more high end stuff. Not to say that it's, you know, way better than anything else out there, but it does RWL34 does sharpen extremely well. Takes a very nice keen edge, and it's really easy to polish, which is, I think, a lot of the reason why a lot of custom guys use RWL34, because it's just easier to work with and easier to polish and, you know, make it beautiful. So it's a great steel that's been around for quite some time. It's actually named after Mr. Lovelace, you know, extremely famous knife designer. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to show both of these off. Wanted to thank David for allowing me to put my big fat hands on them and handle them for a little while, and really get a chance to spend a little time with them. And yeah, they're just gorgeous knives. I don't know what else to say. They're both of them are, the actions are beautiful. You know, the Orca is probably slightly more practical from just the aspect of sharpening it. But for me, I probably like the Lanny's clip just slightly better. I mean, the blade on this guy just looks amazing. I love all the different compound grinds that are going on here. It just looks very, very well done. It's very classy, but it is going to be a little bit of a bitch to sharpen this guy. So, you know, that's up to you. If you're good with sharpening and you can handle a recurve, then to me, the Lanny's clip is where my heart is. But, you know, the Orca also has the Poon, which definitely scores points in my book. But yeah, guys, both of them, I don't think you can go wrong with either knife. Seriously. And both of them are still available. You can purchase them. You know, as far as I know, the Orca is going to just be a standard model that's always available from Drop. So, you know, you can get into this guy for $200. May not be configured just like this one, but you're still getting RWL 34, and you're getting a knife made by Reate for $200. So that's a pretty nice deal. The Lanny's clip comes in a whole bunch of different variations, and you can get it with micarta, and you can get it all titanium. There's a whole bunch of variations. Both are really, really, really nicely done. So anyway, guys, that's what I had for your face balls today. I hope you enjoyed looking at these beautiful, beautiful knives. We'll do a little once over here just to look at the beautiful marble carbon fiber and look at the beautiful, beautiful clips on these guys. And David, thanks so much for letting me take a look at these. I've really enjoyed them. They're super cool knives. And all right, guys, we'll catch you next time. Thanks, and have a good one.